Good morning, students. Today I will start with poem number 5, the Ball poem written by John Berryman. The poem is about a boy who loses a ball. He is very upset. A ball doesn't cost much, nor is it difficult to buy another ball. Why then is the boy upset? After reading the poem, we will see what the poet thinks has been lost and what the boy has to learn from the experience of losing something. So I will start with the explanation of the poem. What is the ball now? Who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over there it in the water. Now here the ball is having here two meaning. One is the literally meaning and another is the symbolic meaning. The literally meaning is simple the ball, but the symbolic meaning here is the belongings of the boy. Maybe his near and dear ones, maybe his family members, maybe his friends. So the poet has given the symbolic meaning here. So the poet sees a boy playing with a ball. Then the boy loses his ball. The poet asks, what should the boy be feeling now? Because he has lost his ball, and he is asking the reader that what will be the feeling of the boy. He asks, what will the boy do now? He saw the ball bouncing merrily and going down the streets. And now, in the same way, it has fallen into the water and lost forever. That means the belongings or maybe his near and dear ones has left him, and now the boy is all alone. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Oh, there are other balls. The poet tries to console the boy by saying that he can replace the ball. But there is no use of replacing the ball because the boy is in deep grief. He cannot be overcome with another ball. He stands shaking there without leaving the place. He stands rigid means stiff, trembling, shaking, कांपना जिसको हम बोलते हैं, and staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. And he is staring down the places where the ball has disappeared in the water of the harbor. Here the harbor stand, the symbolic meaning of the harbor stands for the vastness of life. Now the boy, he is alone in this vastness of life, because he has lost his, maybe the family members, or maybe his friends, or maybe his belongings, which is playing an important part in his life. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he sends first responsibility in the world of possessions. Now here the poet does not interfere. Intrude means interfere. Intrude का मतलब होता है interfere करना. So the poet does not want to interfere into the life of the boy. He will not console him. Console का मतलब होता है सांत्वना देना. He will not console him by saying that he can buy another ball quite easily. Now here the meaning of dime is currency. 10 cents make a dime. Okay, so here dime means money. Okay, so here the poet will not console him by saying that he can buy another ball quite easily, because the cost of the ball was just a dime. It's very cheap. So he can easily purchase another ball for the boy. But the poet doesn't want to buy another ball, because this will create the sense of responsibility for the boy, because now he is left alone in this world. He has to manage himself, and he knows that in this world people are always running after acquiring and owing things. He realizes what is his first responsibility in such a world. People will take balls. Balls will be lost away. Little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. Buying and losing continues throughout our life. हम चीज़ें खरीदते हैं, या हमारे पास हमारे लोग हमसे मिलते हैं और बिछड़ भी जाते हैं. हम चीज़ें खरीदते हैं और वो हमारे हाथ से चले भी जाते हैं, कभी टूट जाते हैं. ओके, सो दिस आर क्वाइट natural. So people will always buy such balls, that means belongings, and the balls they buy will continue to be lost. This is the natural phenomena. Once the ball has been lost, it is lost ball again. Money is totally external to our inner feelings. Sometimes money cannot buy everything. Money can't compensate our emotional losses. Similarly, the childhood that we have lost forever can't be brought back with money, because money is totally external. Okay, now the last 4 lines. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss. How to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most now many days how to stand up. The boy with his hopelessness eyes is beginning to learn the nature of loss. He is learning what means to lose something. He has to learn how to come over the loss and stand up again in life. वो ये सीखना चाहता था कि किस प्रकार से नुकसान से उभर कर वो दोबारा अपने जीवन में खड़े हो सके. ये हमारे आम जिंदगी में अक्सर आता है. We lost something, but everything is not totally finished. We have to recover again ourselves. So here the boy has to learn the basic principle of life, which every man of the world has to learn. He must learn how to bear the pangs of the losses of his childhood. He has to move ahead in life, forgetting the loss of his childhood. Whatever he has lost, that lost he has to overcome, and he has to stand again. So I think you have understood the poem, the symbolic meaning of harbor, the symbolic meaning of the ball, and how we have to overcome our emotions. Okay, so now we will see some literary device used in the poem. Here some of the literary device which is used is metaphor, alliteration, repetition, anaphora. And in this poem there is no rhyming scheme. Okay, so a metaphor, what is metaphor? The word used to compare. Okay, so example here is given, all his young days, and here all his young days is compared with his lost ball. Okay, उसकी बचपन की जो यादें. Okay, and alliteration used his means sound repetition, जो बार बार एक चीज से sound आती है. For example here, buys a ball back. You can see here B sound is repeated again. So this is the alliteration. Then repetition here is repetition of words. Like what is repeated so many times. When you will go through the poem, what is repeated so many times. Balls is repeated so many times here. Okay, and the last device uses anaphora. Anaphora means the word or phrase which is repeated at the beginning of the lines. You can see in the first stanza, that is what, जो एकदम पैराग्राफ के शुरुआत में दी हुई है. What, merrily bouncing. Okay, so this is anaphora. So these are some of the literary device which is used in this poem, and the rhyming scheme is not there in the poem. Okay, so I think you have understood the poem well. So thank you and have a nice day.